yung paalala sa inyo, yung the secret of success that I shared earlier. Ibalik nga natin, may nagtitext sa akin, Butch, balik mo naman, balik mo naman. Di ko naabutan yun eh. O sige, pagbigyan natin. Yan po ang secret to success. Okay, yung storya niyan, yung sinasabi natin, na yung si Socrates daw ay tinanong na isang bata, o isang, siguro young man, teenager, millennial siguro, sabi, ano ba ang secret ng success? Sabi niya, magkita tayo bukas at dun sa may tabing ilog. At kinabukasan ay naglakad sila, si Socrates at yung young man. And that young man at yung Socrates nag-walk towards the river. Hanggang lumalim ng lumalim, hanggang lieg na. At biglang, eto si Socrates ay malakas. No? Malakas siya, kung makikita niyo litrato. At, akalain niyo ba, ang ginawa niya, nilublob niya yung ulo ng bata. At yung bata ay nagpipipiglas, no? Ikaw naman, hawakan yung ulo mo, ilublob na lublob hanggang tapos sabi niya, okay, nung namumula, siguro halos na medyo nawawala ng hangin yung bata. Inangat na ngayon yung bata at sabi ni Socrates, ngayon, ano ba ang gusto mo ngayon? Ano ba nung nakalublob ka, anong hinihingi mo? Hangin mo. Yan ang sikreto ng success. Okay? Pag sinabi niya, sabi niya, when you really wanted it, you will get it. So yung moral of the story ho, ay sinasabi natin, a burning desire is the starting point of all accomplishment. Just like a small fire cannot give much heat, a weak desire cannot produce great results. Gets you na? Okay, so ayan, gets na natin yan. At ngayon po ay gusto ko na akong introduce yung ating kaibigan at naputol tayo. At tawagin na ako natin si Miss, again, Pauline Gorriceta. Bangusing, ma'am, good morning, good evening, welcome po, pasok po. Hello ma'am, how are you?
Hi Butch, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Good.
That's great. It's nice to see you.
Ma'am, I'm so honored. Alam mo naman, hindi na kita tatawagin, ma'am. Taga-dugay na kita kilala. Okay?
Yes, Butch, no, our friendship has spanned many years. But you're ageless.
Wala na akong age. Wala nang age, wag naman.
Wala na.
Mabubuking yung mga age natin, wag na yun. Kasi marami nagsasabi, age is just a number. Okay.
Yes.
Pauline, introduce yourself first to mga kaibigan natin. Dami nakikinig sa iyo, ha? Grabe.
Really? Well. Hi Butch, first of all, thank you for inviting me and for encouraging me to really be on your show. At first sabi ko, ayoko talaga kasi shy ako. Pero of course for you, Butch, because you've been helping me, you answer my calls when I message you, you really do. So this is for you. I am Pauline. I'm an Ilongga. I was born and raised here in Iloilo. I am a mother of two, a college student named Justin and a high school student named Nadine. I'm married to Gus Banusing, who is also a businessman. He has a separate business than mine. And I come from a family of entrepreneurs, the Gorriceta side here in Iloilo, but who are also into politics now. And the Sarabia side, which is in my mom's family, who are really business people. Yes, there you go. So I'm here right now in Iloilo. I have 4 restaurants, a catering company, and after this COVID, I really don't know if what will remain open or not.
Wow. Thank you. But Pauline, ito maganda, okay? Ano ba ang naging secret mo to reach that celebrity status? Because let me show you something, let me show you at ikaw ibibiglain kita. Okay? At meron tayong, teka muna, wala pa tayong sharing doon sa isa na yun, ha? Ayusin muna natin yung sharing. Alam mo ngayon, yung mga techie ngayon, kailangan maging techie ngayon talaga, no? Okay. So that was the screen that we had kanina.
Yeah.
And let me share you one thing. Okay. Hold on. But again, sabi nga na iba, wow, grabe. Ang galing naman niya. Okay.
I don't know who coined the term celebrity chef. I really don't know. Up to now, I don't even know what it means. I just do everything that I have to do and deliver what the customers want. Oh, there you are.
Oh,
Cute.
there you are.
Yeah. I was
Wow.
8 years old
Sino
there.
ito? Sino ito? At kilala ko yung dalawang lalaki na yan eh.
That's my
Oh,
brother Trix, the older brother Trix, who manages our family-owned Carrot World business, Carrot World
where is,
Jewelry.
saan dito si Trix?
The one beside me, that's Trix.
Here.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
our yes, he's older brother, and he manages the Carrot World Jewelry business. And then the
Mhm.
small little cute boy is attorney Mark Gorriceta. They're both based in Manila. Yes,
Oh, so iniwanan ka lang.
which
Iniwanan ka dyan sa,
yeah,
iniwanan ka.
maybe they felt there are more opportunities in Manila, but I always feel that my calling is home here in Iloilo.
You have a big fan. You have I saw in your post how much you missed your dad.
Yes,
Uh,
he passed away when I was like 20, but of course, but I am thankful that I have the 20 years with him. Yet, of course, whatever age we are, we will always miss our parents.
yes, yes. So we're really bound to ano no. But again, tell me how did Pauline become a chef? O ano ba yung sinimulan mo? You finish HRM, you finish a
Ano,
lot of kasi mga kaibigan natin sinasabi niya, I want to be a chef, I want to be because a lot of people nowadays, ang dami nagtatawag sila basta nakaluto ng konti, chef na raw
yes.
sila. Ganun ba 'yun?
It's so funny how I started because, like, I was never in our kitchen, really in our kitchen when I was a child, but then our family was into the hotel and restaurant industry. Our family, the
Mhm.
Sarabias, owned a hotel, the former Sarabia
Mm.
Manor Hotel here in
Yeah.
Iloilo. And then my mom and my dad, they had a fast food restaurant here in Iloilo. So I practically breathe, live hotel and restaurant industry. But they never push me to be in that because they know it's really a tough business and you have to put all your energy. Alam nila na nakakapagod. So I went to Ateneo. I took up social sciences and psychology, and I really enjoyed it. And then my
Mm.
father passed away. I have to come home. I have to help our family business, which is the restaurant. And but then my mom felt that I don't have to take over the business. She was very generous in the idea that I have to find my own purpose. I have to find what I want, and how can I manage a business if I do not know the ropes? So she allowed me to explore, and she allowed me to go abroad and to study. So I took up courses at the Culinary Institute of America and several culinary schools, and not because, and I realized that I really have this certain, it just breathes, it just breathes so easily. I don't, I just don't know. You know, if there's something it's so hard to do, but I love doing it. So it fell into place. So I went back to Iloilo. That was in the year 1997. And
Mhm.
and 2 years after that, I decided to put up my own restaurant. It was the first Italian restaurant in Iloilo called Al Dente, which
Yeah.
is still up to now. And at that
Mhm.
time, there were so many detractors saying that this won't last. Remember, Butch, in the year 1999, here in Iloilo, it
Mm.
was just all chicken inasal, grill food, bahay kubo. There was really no like fine dining. If ever there was a fine dining, it's like in the hotel and they would serve filet mignon, chicken cordon
Mhm.
bleu, those usual European cuisine. But then I wanted to make it upbeat and modern. And it was a risk, but then I said, it's okay. And when I opened Al Dente, did you know, along the way, I was pregnant. I was pregnant.
Wow.
So funny. On the height of my pregnancy, I was opening al dente, and how ironic, I got so allergic and I really hated tomatoes at that, and tomatoes is the heart and soul
Mm-hmm.
of an Italian restaurant. But I had friends from the culinary industry who were my schoolmates in the CIA, who helped me out, who came to Iloilo to help me, because I was pregnant. And then it's so funny that we didn't formally open yet, but then I could remember it. It was October 31. We were not yet formally open, but the store was done. And it was really the center of Iloilo. So, and it was so attractive. It really looked unique. First time that they saw a restaurant with full colors, glass. It was
Mm-hmm.
really, really modern during that time. And then
Mm-hmm.
people were passing by. They couldn't wait. So I called my bartender who was with me at the time. I said, okay, let us just try to let's just put the open sign and let's experiment. I'm sure there will just be two people who will come in. At least let's just try. So I had my bartender, I had me as a cook, and I was already exploding to give birth. I was already about to give birth. But then I had 3 more weeks. And then I said to my husband, na you'll be the dining staff. Because we just expected 3 people to dine in. And then, it was October 31. And usually there will be no people in Iloilo since it was Halloween and people were going back to their province. We didn't expect. We just flashed the open sign. Like there were like more. It was full pack. It was full pack. This is an epic story. It was full pack. I even had my baby dog with me because I didn't really. Yeah. But then because we were wanted to open November 5 or something like that. But everything, the stock was there. So I had my kitchen, who I trained, go home first because it was nighttime. Would you believe we were so full packed that night? I was the only one cooking. My husband was helping me in the plating and dining. And I was so damn tired that I gave birth the next day.
Wow, gosh. But I had the chance to go there kasi hindi pa tayo magkakilala nun eh. But I was so curious. Yeah, totoo yun. Nasa Hotel Sarabia, di ba? So may left on the left side, right? That's Hotel Al Dente. That Al Dente restaurant before, correct? Was
Yes,
that the
yes,
one? Oh, kita mo by the driveway.
yes,
Kita mo, I
yes,
still have that
yes,
photographic memory, di ba? So,
yes.
and I was so curious. Sabi ko, Al Dente, tama ka. I think what you said was a lot of people were saying, hindi tatagal yan. Dito hindi, kumbaga sa Cebu, tehik, dito matipid ang tao. I mean, they cannot afford that. They only want, tama ka, yung inasal, yung ganito. But again, you broke the norms. Was it challenging, Pauline? I mean, people were saying, siguro, your friends and your classmates and your relatives who say, Pauline, you must be crazy, not here in Iloilo. Paano mo na-survive yun? Yung ganong, alam mo naman ngayon, mga panahon ngayon, may mga detractors, may mga bashers, but ano yung character ni Pauline? Oh, Pauline, I think you're on mute. Yeah.
They're okay. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't even get the full support, like the support that I wanted from family because they felt it was a risk. And I didn't even prove myself that I could cook, right? I didn't prove myself yet. So who am I? Okay, taas kilay and all. But then again, as I said, it was my husband who said, just do it. And then if ever it doesn't work, let's just change the concept. It's easy to change the concept. If it won't work, let's close 2 weeks from now. Let's close and then change it into an inasalan or whatever it will work. Basta just try to open it and we'll see how it goes. And there were birthing pains. Of course, there were many comments. I had to try to adjust the taste and flavor until it became like an Ilongga institution. And this morning, Butch, before the interview, this morning I was up and about to go to my restaurant, Al Dente, here, the new Al Dente in Iloilo. A friend of mine sent me pictures of Al Dente, and it was so funny. And I said, "Oh wow!" And she said, "This COVID made me open my baul." She said, and I said, "Oh really? what those pictures when we were so young. Send me more. And she told me, Al Dente holds a special memory. It was my first date. He said that that was the place that she had her first date, and then it was the first time she tried carbonara. And then there were so many firsts, she said, in Al Dente. And she kept those pictures. And I didn't know there were so many. I'm sure she was not the only one who celebrated
Yeah.
first. Yeah.
Imagine yan, Paulina, you created legend. Imagine, di ba, yung the fact na nag-date sila doon. Wow, memories
Oo.
yun, ha? Memories
Memory.
yun. Hindi
Yes,
ba?
yes.
And it's something lasting, you know. It's something that, ito nga COVID na ito, maraming mga revelations, maraming discovery. Di ba?
Ang
Yung bang,
dami, ang dami.
imagine mo yung friend mo, pinadala ka ng old picture,
Sa baul,
and
from
yet,
the baul.
oo, yung mga baol mo, di ba? Yung house cleaning.
Oo.
Ay, teka,
Oo.
memories to. And
Oo.
ang mga Pilipino pa naman mahilig mag-keep ng memories, di ba?
Oo.
So,
Oo.
again, yung ano ngayon, yung for example, now, let's go back to the point natin. And after this family, yan na, si Pauline.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. Yan ang, kumbaga,
Where did you get
tinatawag.
that picture? Ah!
Ayan, nagre-research tayo eh. Kasi tagal mo magpadala ng picture. Ako na nga naghanap.
Oo, sobra.
Okay. You always have that kind of aura, Paulina. I mean, what is it in your character that you don't seem to be bothered? You always have that positivity. Ano ang personality mo talagang ganyan? Para bang you're such a fighter, you're so aggressive. Tama ba?
Maybe you can call it the public self, that you can see me like there's so much positivity. But I always try to have a light spirit in me because para magaan ang buhay, dapat rin positive ang outlook. So, I know there are challenges ang dami every day, especially if you run a restaurant. But I always tell myself that these problems will not be presented kung hindi ko kaya. And I always say na I'm not the type kasi na who will dwell in one problem. I take one day at a time. One day at a time. So I compartmentalize, or maybe that really helps, that I compartmentalize problems. Today, let's face this. And then tomorrow, another issue. And then
So-
I think with the grace, and I always believe in grace. So I live by the grace also. Yeah.
Yes, and I think being managing a restaurant nowadays is not a joke, or even for that matter, even post-COVID, pre-COVID, whatever you say. How challenging is really restaurant, Pauline?
If you just like cooking, remain that. Just like cooking, just cook. That's only the 10% that makes a restaurant. The 90% is managing the operations, the personnel. That's the 90%. Just knowing how to cook is just 10%. You know why? Because if you want to open a restaurant and you have the capital, you can just hire good cooks. You know, it's easy. It's easy naman that way. But if you know how to cook and you want to open a restaurant, make sure that you're also armed with definitely you know how to manage personnel, operations, cost, everything.
But you know, this is something that siguro yung mga kaibigan natin na may mga marunong magluto, lalo ngayon na COVID, no, marami nakadiscover
Oo, ang
na,
dami.
wow, I can cook. Finally, or wow, my
Or-
family love my
yes.
cooking.
Yes.
Wala
yes.
silang choice kasi, di ba? Kaya na-discover, nagustuhan. Does it mean to say na magtatayo na agad ng restaurant yan? I mean, ano yung advice mo? I'm sure a lot of people have been asking you advice. Pauline, marunong ko magluto kasi parati ako nasa restaurant kumakain. Yan ba yung tamang mindset?
Well, that's a very nice mindset. I am not discouraging. That is like already a start. If they like cooking and they have a talent, why not? Why not? But of course, remember the hours that you have to put and the sacrifice that you have to put with it. I just hope they're ready to face that. A classic example, Butch, is that like last month during this COVID period, I asked my daughter to wake up at 4 a.m. because I said she has to help me pack and cook for the frontliners, for the police. And at that time, that day, we were really skeletal for zero. So I told her that we will do it at home. Like she likes to cook, like she likes to bake and all. And then she even told me that she also wants to open a restaurant. So I told her she has to wake up at 4 a.m. so that by 6 o'clock, this 200 packs of food packs will be done. Okay? At around 5:30, 5 o'clock, 5:30, she sort of gave up. She said she was tired. Like, she just likes to cook, but she does not want to pack it individually or to scoop the rice. So, of course, the day passed and I had to sit down with her in the evening and I told her I appreciate her work and her effort, but she is a classic example of a millennial who just likes to see the beautiful side of things, but will not put the hard work involved in coming up with a result. So I
Totoo
told
yan.
her,
Oo.
so I told her that this is the restaurant business. It is not just glamour. This is it. You have to cook, you have to fry, and sometimes there will come a point na what if wala kang personal who will pack kasi nag-absent. You have to pack, you have to scoop. So this is it. And I told her, this is the reality. So that's why I told her if you're not forced, you have to find really what you like to do.
So importante talaga no yung the ability to be to have that self-confidence, the ability to be able to stand, persevere, patience, long hours.
Yes.
Hindi biro-biro. I mean, yeah, to tama 'yon. I think what our millennials should learn is not just instant gratification. Di ba? Yung
Yes.
bang gusto ko mag-restaurant, bing, I mean, para ka naglalaro ng Minecraft, no, yung mga ganun. So,
Instant.
instant, and that's something I think what you're now trying to impart. Yun ang isa sa mga nakikita ko ngayon, no. So, importante pala talaga yung pag sa restaurant ay yung the ability to stand, no? To ability to come up. But how do you come up with your menu? Believe ako dyan no?
It's hard, Butch. But then I like we travel, I eat out. Would you believe if I travel, I don't even shop. We just spend so much on restaurants, trying all these good restaurants, high end, street food, and all. It's part of the research, and at the same time, it doesn't mean if it worked for one place, it will work for you, right? So it's constant R&D, and at first I would get a team of people who will try, and I will ask, what do you think of the taste? What do you think of especially for example, Al Dente, my other restaurant, Farm to Table. What do you think of the taste? But at the end of the day, the menus that work is based on the profile of my taste. Especially in Al Dente. Like, for example, my husband will tell me, you better change the sauce. I don't like it. I think it's so sweet. But I said that this is my taste. This is how I want it. This is my taste for the chicken parmigiana. This is my take on the pomodoro sauce. I find it too sweet. Yeah, but then I think people grew up with my taste, my profile. So at first I would try suggestions. Of course, I have to be open to suggestions. But I don't know. At the end of the day, the profile taste that I have are the ones that are. Sometimes nga sabi ng kilala ko, Pao, you dictated the taste. What people would like, you dictated it.
Yes. Actually, what you're like a painter. You're creating an obra maestra. You're a painter on a canvas, except that you're cooking. Di ba?
Yes,
So para
yes.
bang ganun ang nakikita ko kasi kaya nga pagluto ng chef, I always say chef ba talaga yan o yung chef-chefan lang, naglagay lang ng ano ba tawag mo doon sa hat? Tok?
Ang delikado ang chef-chefan, 'di ba? Like parang
Oo.
I don't want to roll my eyes, pero I admire your guts and your talent, but there are cooks in my restaurant who started as dishwashers, and they just started as dishwashers, and I just trained them. Of course, I'm a very strict person. I am a perfectionist, so I train them, I train them, I train them. Ang lahat ng cooks ko in my kitchen are not culinary graduates. They're like, wala. I don't even know where they graduated, or did they graduate at all? Basta they tell me, Ma'am, I want to learn how to cook. I want to work for you. Okay, train, fine, period.
But
Just be hard. And
that's
then
true, no?
mm,
Go ahead.
I don't know kasi ang iba, like, just because they're graduates of culinary schools, 'di ba? Ang hirap lang, Butch, kasi you tell them, example, a culinary school graduate, you tell them they have to slice and dice 10 kilos of pork and liver for pork sisig. Some give ayaw. Why should I dice? But then, of course, to come up with a good pork sisig, you have to slice and dice. Di ba?
Yeah.
Akala nila is saute na lang and then beautify it. No eh.
No.
I've learned the hard way, Bush. I've learned the hard way. Akala nila it's glamour, but I don't know. But I learned the hard way while I trained abroad.
And ano naman tong farm to table? Alam mo, the last time we saw each other was 3 years ago eh. Nabigla na lang ako dito kay Pauline, biglang, hi Pauline. Siya pala yung nag-cater, and ang sarap-sarap, you know, I mean, there was a launching, no? Yung Sarabia jewelry, you know, your cousins. And all of a sudden, sabi mo, farm to table. Naintriga ako sa concept na ito. Ano naman tong obra maestra ni Paul?
Yeah, the farm to table, I'm sure it's like a common concept now. Before, siguro, not so much, but now it's all over. Farm to table is like a byword in the industry. Everyone seems to be doing it, but I'm trying to remember. 5 years ago, I was in Palo Alto, California, and then my son had a summer class at Stanford. So I stayed with him for 2 months in Stanford, and wala akong magawa. I was like the mom, like a soccer mom. Syempre, I had, yeah. So in the morning, I had to go around restaurants and all. And nakita ko doon na talagang, wow, ang farm to table na concept is really working. Lahat, all the restaurants, mukhang farm to table, no? From Vietnamese restaurants, Thai restaurant. So I said, you know, why is it that it won't work? I'm sure it will work in Iloilo kasi we have abundant na supplies from farmers, fishermen. Yun lang. In California, in the States, they like when you eat in a farm to table restaurant, they will tell you kung saan galing ang cow or ang meat, saan galing ang chicken. They know the owners will tell the customers, you know that this milk comes from the farm of this family who lives 3 miles away. Like, ganon. Sabi ko, ang Iloilo, we are the Panay, the island of the Panay.
Yeah.
Abundant naman eh. Ang grabe, like 10 minutes away, it's another town. And we are so blessed with so many harvests, like sugar, rice, vegetables. So sabi ko, I just have to really to study this kung consistent talaga and sustainable. Ang hirap kasi if you start something and hindi sustainable. True. It took me pa 2 years after discovering the concept, 2 years, because I have to talk to suppliers, to farmers, if they can sustain. Ang hirap kasi to start something and then hindi ko masustain. It's so hard. So it took me a while.
So it was really a challenge, but again, you persisted on that. So
Yes,
talagang yung farm to table ni Paul, talagang believe ako dyan. So ito naman, yan, ako, ito yung si Pao na nagtuturo. Ano ito? Meron kang Great Women Gourmet. You were part of it. What is this?
There was a Great Women Gourmet is by Jeannie Havelosa. So they invited me for an artefino to come up with products. So again, I went to different towns here in Iloilo and helped women. Like example, there's this woman who makes nice banana chips. So I had to repack, to help her. There were also women who produced dried fishes. So I had to talk talk to them, ganon. So it is about a woman helping other women.
Ang ganda niya na because what you're doing is actually encouraging people, no?
Yes.
Yung mga homegrown natin. Kasi ano ba naman yung ginagawa nila? Tradition. Like for example, yung banana chips. I'm sure the way they do it is actually yung what they learn from generation to generation. But
Yes, but then that's about and it's also about butch consultancy. You have to be generous
yes.
in telling them na your banana chips would be better if you use this certain banana and then don't put vanilla syrup because it tastes like talagang commercial. So let us do this, do that. Parang they listen. It's challenging, butch, kung alam mo lang, to talk to
Oo.
them, to go down, to really to see them eye to eye in the level na they will understand na me not demanding. Pero and then it's so hard for them to deliver on time, to know what is quality. You know, it was like a challenge, but I guess it was a learning experience too.
I like that
For
word.
me.
I like that word, consistency and quality, because that is
Yeah.
where always the challenge is, no? Masarap sa sample, pagdating sa orders, bumabagsak yung mga orders. Why? Because
Yeah.
quality control. And
Yeah.
I think that's our role, because whether you're a chef, whether I'm a business consultant and all this, we always want quality, you know, kasi hindi tayo
Yes.
magiging competitive, di ba? Masarap nga yung pagkain natin, pero up and down, parang hindi
Yeah.
maganda. No? Yun ang
Yeah.
nangyari.
Yeah, that's why nga sometimes sabi ko my talent is not really to come up with like a production na talagang maging parang robot, because I'm more of an artist. I come up with products na kung minsan ang hirap i-replicate.
Totoo yan. So, eto naman, itong isang picture na ito, ang ganda eh. Yan, the family. Si Chef and the family. Yan.
Okay.
How do you balance your family, your working life, and your advocacy? Paano yan?
The other picture that's in the market. The head of the OST came to Iloilo.
Yes.
Yes, and he wanted to try lapas batchoy in the market. So,
sa may lapas, sa may market yan eh.
yes.
No?
So imagine he wanted to that, and I sat down with him, parang ambush nga. And then I was telling him about my concept about farm to table. Ayun lang, he doesn't know me, pero I was lucky enough to sit down with him and tell him about the concept of farm to table, and tell him na dapat these people in the towns should be taught consistency, talagang, and work ethics. Kasi maganda ang mga products nila. They just cannot deliver on time. They cannot just be consistent. Yon.
Oo. And the family, how's the family naman? How?
We're holding up and we're doing great. And we are just, I think the word is we are lucky that my son, who's studying at the University of Washington in Seattle, was able to come home just the day before the lockdown. Yes. Parang talagang about like for a week na hindi siya nakauwi. Like parang I was like quiet and worried that baka hindi siya makauwi and what will happen to him. But and then I told him na just take this flight. Trust me, just take this flight. Kasi ayaw niya pa umuwi. Kasi sabi niya may finals pa daw. I said, tell your teacher that you come from a third world country. And I'm sure he will understand. And then, nakauwi.
Ito, meron kang pinost dito eh. No? I loved what you posted. Sabi niya, ito yung pinost ni Paul eh. Sabi niya, hey guys, before you go running into international fast food chains and coffee shops, parang basically, patronize mo naman yung local. Why so? Why so, Pauline?
I saw that post. We did that post in international. May nag-post na gano'n. And they even named the international fast foods na not to patronize. Pero bad naman yan. Why would you have to name? Wag naman. So I have to rephrase it na, of course, unahin na muna natin ang local. Local restaurants, local cafes, local businesses. I really try. Like, gustong-gusto ko na mag-coffee sa let's just name it
S na lang, oo.
Pero that's our family's favorite. Everyone's sure I hope they will understand. But I have to support a local coffee shop here. in Iloilo, local coffee shops, not only one but several, where like and then.
So basically, Pauline, ang nangyayari tuloy is actually you're trying to support them, you're trying to help the locals. What you're saying now is that support local, no? May maraming nagsasabi ngayon, no? Itong local entrepreneurs. So we'll wait while Pauline is trying to get in also. Alam mo naman, pag ganitong interview, you have to expect the unexpected, no? Sinasabi nga natin. But this is something else. One thing that we learned from Pauline is she was able to get her own concept. She was able to say, yes, this is my concept. People, sabi ng mga ibang tao, hindi ka naman magiging successful. But she never listened to what people would say. She had a vision, at yung vision niyan ay maayos, no? Yung para yung kanyang vision ay kagaya ng Dente, no? Yung Dente restaurant, people say you're too ahead of your time, but she managed, no? And yet difficult, it's really difficult because the difficulty niya, meron siyang physical constraint, no? May constraint siya na buntis siya, mga anak.
Okay,
Tapos,
I'm back.
Okay, you're back.
But sorry because my phone, people are calling me. I don't know. My phone doesn't stop ringing. And
I know
because wala lang, my friends call me and then kung minsan magchika-chika lang. And then that's why nga Butch, that my husband was telling my mom last Sunday, her phone rings all the time. And then the top, wala, they just want to pour out their problems kay Pao, and she has all the time to listen. Like, she just listens.
I know. Some people are watching you already. So, sabi na iba, tawagan ko, totoo ba yan si Pao? Naka-live ba yan? No? So, I'm so happy that you're around. No? But again, but Pao, going back to the balance of family time and again, a lot of people kasi, a lot of entrepreneurs would say, I don't have time anymore for my family. Would you say, how would you advise? Ano yung advice na pwede mo ibigay sa mga ganito? Para bang you might grow up and say, hey, I still have a kid pala. Oh, my kid is already graduating. Paano yun? Anong attitude dyan?
How do I say this, Butch? There were many opportunities that I had to give up in my restaurant business. Many opportunities I had to give up to raise up good children, because as a woman, you really have to be hands-on, no matter how busy you are, to have very successful children. Not naman success material, but then emotional, spiritual. That I want them to be successful in that. And there were many when they were growing up. There were a lot of business opportunities, but I had to choose to be a mom first. And I said na I'm just happy having my own restaurants here in Iloilo, and as long as I can see them grow up. And now that I see my son excelling in what he is doing, I tell myself that it was worth it. It was worth giving up those opportunities. And well, maybe there will always be a second win. I don't know. I just hope.
But Pauline, I must congratulate you kasi talagang people would say, bakit si Pauline nandiyan pa sa Iloilo? You could have gone abroad, you could have worked for major hotels, but you have that strong love and make Iloilo. You're one of the women perhaps na nag-change ng Iloilo, no? Probably, I'm sure the landscape of Iloilo has changed, right?
It changed. It can you hear me? Okay, it really changed, Butch. And I'm not saying I was the one or I was a big part. Wala naman. On my own, I quietly do it on my own. Quietly. I'm not the type naman who wants this to be announced. It's just that sometimes it just creates attention, which is I'm thankful. But really, Butch, I didn't really I don't really want the attention. I really just want to do it quietly.
Very low key si Pauline, pero very Ang ganda naman ng achievements yan. Yan ang mga pagkakilala ko sa... Diyan ako humahanga eh. Kasi you don't have to announce, you don't have to make a trumpet call and say, hey, I'm this, you know. Low-key, and yet you are doing exactly helping other people.
Yeah, we just
Diba?
have to do what we have to do.
Yeah, right. And
Yeah.
ito yung sinasabi mo. I think this is
Ah,
what you said. It was featured in the Daily Guardian. Uh,
yes.
and you did. I mean, what made you decide to help the frontliners, Pauline?
Uh, okay. So when the mayor of Iloilo announced that there's gonna be a lockdown, like parang I was like quiet for 2 days, literally. My husband was asking, and my son, "Mom, what will you do? What will you do?" So literally, I just was just quiet, unusually quiet. And then because I said I'm thinking, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And then, so all restaurants closed, as in which all.
Mm.
I got a call that nobody would feed the policemen of Iloilo. Wala. So they needed a restaurant who can operate para maka-feed policemen, or else wala. We have 400 policemen. So the head of that group asked if I am willing to open my restaurant. So I said I have a skeletal force. I will try my best.
Mm.
So and then that for a week I was doing that, just serving frontliners. My
Mm.
fear in my heart about what will happen to my business, slowly by slowly, the fear became hope. It was just like grieving, na parang namatayan ako. Imagine, all my restaurants closed, so like it was like death. Grabe, like I was just grieving, parang death nga eh. And slowly by slowly, I had to, and then helping out these frontliners, friends calling me, Pao, I'll give 2,000 pesos, feed the people in this hospital, feed the firemen, and like, parang ganon. So slowly, so it was, I was healing through helping.
Mm.
I was healing, I was being healed and then I'm still trying to continue that, but then of course donations are very low. And of course business is also tight. We cannot survive just in deliveries. So I had to think of ways na ma-continue ko pang advocacy ko, even though wala na nagdo-donate, right? So and then this community of bartering. Imagine I had to barter some of my precious things so that they can barter onions, tomatoes, rice, ground pork, flour, and then I convert that into to meals that I can give the frontliners. For 8 days there was no donations. I didn't receive anything, but then I said, okay, I'll barter again. I was able to this morning they sent egg, they sent onion, so we were able to give all the frontliners of Western Visayas Medical Center at 3 o'clock on the dot, just before the interview.
Wow, fantastic. You know, I think basically, Pao, we don't work alone. We sort of work because God is guiding us.
I
And
just hope
really, I'm
so.
so amazed. Sometimes, you know, like yung mga past interviews ko, there was one woman, si Nia Reyes, who had only 2 pesos in her pocket, and she had 6 children. And not knowing what to do, but she just prayed. Guess what? A friend just popped in, and wanted to have coffee, but she said, you know, I don't have coffee. And the friend said, tell me honestly, you're not okay, right? Nagulat siya kasi, and I think in all our circumstances, if you do things right and you try to help other people, you go out of your way. Yeah, masakit yun, gal. You close your stores, right?
Yeah,
No
it is.
income. Di ba? Masakit yun. Mahirap yun. I mean, for...
My husband even asked this morning, what is your, he calls it causa, what is really your mission vision? Why are you why is it like you woke up early to meet the people that you are bartering your things? You're not obligated to feed. That's what he said. You're not obligated. Kami Agus, I am not obligated to feed, but what's in my heart that I want to feed.
Exactly. You speak from the
I
heart.
just I just want to feed them because I just feel that everybody's going through a tough times. Me, I'm a business person. At least I have a roof under my head. I have food, good food. What about these people? And then they're sacrificing. So for me, like and I feel just to be I'm always grace. I told you that my life is always about being graced. So I want people to feel that too. That one day in their life, when they were in the hospital, they received grace.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And here you are. You tried already your Chef Pauline's Frozen Iloilo. O yan.
Yeah.
Ito ba naging result ito ng COVID? You have to think of other ways and means and all this.
Uh,
Ganyan.
yes, and I thought of, they said that in COVID, do not do not even try to think of new concepts. Just work of what is your concept. But I believe, Butch, that you have to adapt to the times, and I had to adapt.
Exactly.
I
Yes,
had to
yes.
adapt.
Oy, by the way, Pauline, let me say, ang dami mong taga dito. Let me greet them. Oh, Richie Kuna. The Richie
Hi.
Kuna. Si Richie, yung Fior Gelato, the banker, yung napanood mo kahapon. The banker who chose the hard way, the entrepreneur way. Jennifer Ko, Opatsang, Marlene Liton, Rosint Aquiles, Sia Bianco Saho, taga DTI yan, no? Taga DTI yan. Kasama natin yan. Si Jason De La Rosa watching, Pifner Agas, G. Onciano, Eddie Angeles, yung idol ko yan. Kamukha yan ni Eddie Peregrina, kung alam nila. Si G. Onciano, and Maluf Prado from Dubai watching now. We are 6 hours in ahead, no? Lay Arcad, Kyla Eunice, Bianca Tolentino, one of the KMME right now. Juan Celeste from New Zealand, my classmate. Vanji Liwag from Dubai. Susette Tieng Yu. Ito, ang galing na storya nitong babaeng ito. She has a school but she turned baker because she's now
Wow.
selling and she's donating. And then si Lalaine Chu Benitez, I tell you, one great lady from Dubai watching, and really, para bang ang dami raw, idol na idol ka raw. So,
Wow.
yan,
Sobra.
idol na
Sobra.
idol raw. So, again, Pao, ano yung magiging ano ngayon? Ano nakita mo ngayon with this COVID? What are the at least tatlong bagay na you learned? Because being isolated, you have that, well, I don't want to call it luxury, but being isolated for 2.5 months now. What have you learned? You have sort of reflected over this pandemic.
There's so much reflection, Butch, is that not just 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
First of all, we have this term na, and everyone's saying, as long as you're alive, di ba? As long as you're alive. So first, we are grateful that we are alive and our family. Number 2, I've also learned in simple living. Kasi if you're living just simply lang, you're not too affected with this COVID eh. Di ba? You're not too affected. But if you have had a luxurious life, so talagang mabibigla ka. Oo. But me naman, I'm a very simple person. My family is a very simple person. So nothing much has changed. It's just that our business closed. Oo. So kailangan simple talaga ang life. And number 3 is humble. Always be humble. And kung minsan nga nagiging mayabang ako with my travel post, with whatever post, and I feel that I never gained anything with that. I never. So at the end of the day, talagang big learning ko is we always have to be humble because the world is round. The world turns. One day I was up and now I am uncertain. So pero kung humble ka, ma-accept mo all these failures and you want to accept this and try your best. Yun lang talaga eh. Arrogance talaga zero. It won't put you anything. You won't gain anything. Like for me, I had to be humble, even telling my staff, like na iba na, hey, I cannot sustain 2 months na wala kayong work. I can give you your salary. I even had to tell them that, and you have to be humble kasi if I was arrogant, di ba, I would just keep quiet. No, I will
Yeah,
tell.
totoo yan.
I just told them that every week I will try to deposit in Palawan or Emluria whatever I can afford para makasustain lang sa inyo. Oo. And then kung humble, I realized by being humble, they will understand eh. Oo.
Yeah.
So yun talaga eh. Accept, accept, move on, be grateful and humble.
Yes, and si Dr. Vincent Crespo Santos is watching. A doctor who loves cooking too. Para magkakaroon ka ng cooking class ngayon, Pauline. Ah, Hindi ba? So, but again, isa sa mga nakita ko sa iyo is you're so religious. You have strong faith.
I'm not
What is
naman religious. I'm not
Oo,
naman that religious.
what in you that carries you through challenges? Is it faith?
Again, it's I don't want to sound preachy. I hate people sounding preachy. But everything can be lost except faith lang talaga eh. Faith lang talaga. And one time, a friend of mine who's a scientist in San Francisco told me that the reason why Filipinos have so many poor people, it's because na they will just say, sige, bahala na si God. Sige, ano na lang, let's sit down and tignan natin. I'll just pray. Sabi niya, it does not work. Yun daw, you have to be proactive. You have to do something in order to achieve that goal, to buy a house, to buy a car. Hindi pwede na, ay, bahala na si God. Okay, so she has a point. She has a point. Oo, she has a point. But at this time, when the field is just talagang everybody is equal, black. Ano yun? May scientist friend, parang gusto ko sabihin, what can hold you up? Diba? It's faith.
True. And I think what you are saying now is actually you're echoing a lot of entrepreneurs. No, a lot of entrepreneurs have learned that there is a God and that you have to do something too.
Yeah, kasi Butch, like,
Diba?
Butch, before this COVID, I would be here to say, I don't know if my restaurant will close, if my business will still continue. Parang mahihiya ka because that's failure on my part, right? Parang mahihiya ka. But then, I do not know why I see entrepreneurs, successful businessmen, not shy saying, baka wala kaming matirang restaurant na open. And we're talking about parang successful ha. And nakikita ko sila being open about it. So sabi ko, wow, I admire them more. Wow.
So, again, Pauline, siguro isa sa mga nakita niya ng a lot of people are saying that, wow, inspiring si Pauline, very inspiring. Alam mo kasi, pag ikaw nag-post, believe ako sa iyo, you are an idol of the Facebook.
Don't you believe that
Pao, meron akong ikikwento ha. Teka, ito. Gusto kong i-share mo, ikaw ang magkikwento nito kasi tawa ako ng tawa eh, no? Ay, nawala. Baka sinensor yun. Pao, meron ka nangyari nung linggo, nung Sunday nang pinopost mo. Ano nangyari doon?
Saturday, it was my daughter's birthday, Nadine. And then, of course, gusto yun talagang ng a certain food kasi magbubudol fight daw. So, nag-rush ako sa grocery because the party starts at the birthday niya, kami lang naman, start at 4. So, nag-rush ako pumunta ng grocery para bibilhin ang kulang. I was in a rush. I forgot to bring a mask. So, the guard in the grocery said, "Ma'am, you have to go out." Kasi a mask is a must. Talagang mandatory. Yun ang sabi ng mayor dito. So sabi ko, but I'm almost done. I don't want to go out. It's so hot. Ang init. I have to, and I'm almost done. Please. Sabi ng guard, no ma'am, we're just following rules. We are just doing our responsibility. And totoo naman, they are just doing their responsibility. So I panicked. First time, wala akong mask sa bag ko. Usually I have so many masks in my bag. Pero that day, parang I changed my bag. No, I changed my bag. So wala talaga. I only have my novena kit. I only had mga papers and my wallet. Wala talaga. So I opened my makeup kit and I saw my disposable underwear. I always bring disposable underwears. I don't know. I just like when I travel, I bring that. So I had to put on that, I had to make use of those disposable panties into a mask. And people in the grocery were looking at me and iba disturbed. Like may mga older people doon na talagang, what is that? It's so different. But then I laughed at myself and I said, oh my God, we just have to survive and we just have to be creative.
So, but you created a viral. Nagulat ako. Ano
Oo,
nangyari?
wala
Oo,
lang people,
na-post yan sa ABS. Ano nangyari dyan?
wala lang people were just laughing. Yun. So now I heard that Uniqlo will be making masks out of underwear fabrics. Oh, di ba?
Oh, okay, tamo, you started. Another challenge na naman yan. Another legacy.
Oh.
Again, Pau, I just want to thank you a lot. I don't want to take your time so much because I know you're doing a lot of things. You're running here, you're running there, but you're so intact. Parang intact. But again, Pau, I want you to lead us into a prayer. Something like a prayer for the nation, prayer for a lot of people. Help us pray. I want you to give this opportunity time for you to pray with us.
Okay. So my prayer goes like this. Dear God, thank you for making Butch an instrument here today, that we are all here together and sharing this conversation.
Medyo nawala si, alam mo, minsan ang internet talaga natin, yan ang nagiging concern. But she's coming back, And one thing I always ask of people is that, the people I interview, mas meaningful yung prayer nila, no? Kasi lalong-lalo na si Pauline has that heart for others, has that passion to cook, has that a lot of things, no? Pero nandun yun kaya nga yung mga prayers ng mga tao, nakikita ko, wow, talagang so deep. It's really a prayer from the heart, no? Yan ang nangyayari. So while waiting for Pauline, you can get in touch with her. She's in Iloilo, and again, you can also find out more. Tomorrow, by the way, we are having another guest by the name of Imelda Dagus, who is just watching now. Another powerful lady, and I just hope the internet will work, Imelda, as you are also stranded in Cagayan de Oro, okay, na lockdown siya doon. Na-lockdown siya sa Iloilo. So, but it's so nice because though she's locked down with her family, locked down with her husband and son, no? So, but again, just to give you a glimpse, Imelda came from Oman, but she was born in Hulo-Sulo, no? Again, ang ganda na story niya kasi very traditional yung family, and for a woman like her to break beyond tradition. She studied in Manila, she worked in overseas, and pagbalik na dito, instead of just coming back, she started a business called Dennis Coffee Garden, which is matagal na yung Dennis Coffee Garden. So again, it's so nice to hear the story of these women because they are something na nakaka-inspire talaga. Ito yung biglaang usapan, kaya tayo rin nabibigla rin dahil pag nadi-disconnect, no? So again, I think baka Pauline is having a difficult time trying to get in. Tignan natin kung nandyan na siya. Okay, parang wala pa rin. Okay, wala pa rin si Pauline, no? So I think that's yan mangyayari. Wala pa rin. So anyway, ayan na, nandyan na siya. Wala. So anyway, I don't want to take much of Pauline's time, but ayan na. Oh God, thank you Lord, thank you Lord. Bumalik ulit si Pauline. Okay. Kasi tatapusin niya yung prayer natin. Okay? Yes, ma'am. You're back.
Hi, Butch. Sorry, ha.
Okay.
Sorry. I don't know. The connection is so bad. Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
you finalized the prayer natin. You were leading
Okay.
us in a prayer.
Yeah, okay. So my prayer goes is, Dear God, thank you for giving us Butch to facilitate this conversation, just like talking to friends, like just one afternoon, and making us all realize that it's not just me as a business person who is going through a lot of things, but many of us, we just hope and pray that we come out of this COVID as better people, as more more compassionate, more generous, more kind, more understanding. Sometimes my prayer to God before to you, God, was give me uh, give me so much blessings, give me money, give me customers. But dear God, that you've heard my prayers for the past months, that just make me a better person and give me wisdom to decide what I have to do. It's my only prayer, and that's my prayer to all too. That let us pray to the Holy Spirit to give us wisdom what to do after this COVID.
Amazing. Ang ganda, ang ganda, ganda. And again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Pauline. I'm sure you have
Thank you,
inspired a
Butch.
lot of people.
I hope.
Sometimes you don't know whether we inspire or we make people perspire. But whatever we do, we always do it for the greater glory of God. And I'm sure that at the end of our term, when we go up there, when we submit our final report, God will always say, "What have you done to the talents and the skills that I've given you?" And I'm sure
Yeah.
Pauline will now say, "Lord, ang dami kong tinayo, ang dami kong pinakain, ang dami kong nagluto ako." And
That's why nga, Butch, there was a time like this earlier this year that I wanted to give up my cooking career. I don't know. It's just that I said, what if I'll study again? I'll really take my psychology classes seriously. What if? What if? And then I didn't know. And this COVID made me realize it's that cooking will be the one that sustained me. Cooking.
true,
Yeah,
true.
yeah. And then
So,
I did to end. I just want to share, Butch, about this barter community, no?
yeah.
So um, my first post, I wanted to barter my brand new luxurious bag. Because sabi ko wala
Oh,
naman akong magagamitan ng Gucci bag eh. So I wanted to barter it. And in exchange, if you get this bag, you will give me ilang sacks of rice, ilang vegetables, ilang onions. You know, there were groups that messaged me personally and said, don't give up that Gucci bag. We will just send you money to prepare food.
my
And I don't know
God.
these people. I don't know these
Yeah,
people.
true.
Don't give up that that bag. Keep it. We'll just send you money to feed your advocacy to
But
continue.
you know, one thing that they're saying is sometimes people, they are like messengers, no, of sometimes angels. Na ikaw willing ka to shed this belonging, let go, ika nga, let go, and all of a sudden, no, it's just like Abraham and Isaac, di ba?
Yeah.
Ah,
And then and isa pa,
ganon.
Butch, I think Ilonggos are just very, very nice people. Ilonggos as a whole.
Mhm.
Like matutulungin, and we have this bayanihan spirit led by a very good leader. As a whole, Ilonggos, I can count on them. And I thank the Ilonggos for trusting me too.
Yes, yes. Wow, thank you very much, Pauline. And again, regards to Mark and Trix and
Of
regards to the
course.
family.
Yes.
Si Mark, yan, tawag ko dyan, FG, First Gentleman. Naglolokohan kami na nung araw. Eh ngayon, busy-busy na ako sa tax. Si
Yes, yes.
Trix, busy-busy rin.
Yeah.
And again, regards to your family. And if and when we come and visit again Iloilo, we missed again, alam mo naman, nakakamiss yung mga Ilonggo food eh, nakakainis.
Yeah. There's
Parang
no
you start
place. Yeah.
craving eh, no?
Uh.
Parang may craving ka for ano. But again, it's always there. There's always in God's time. Again, wala na akong masasabi. Thank you for giving me this
Thank you, Butch.
opportunity. Uh, God works in miracle, and really I will always pray for you, Pauline.
Yes, please,
And as
please.
always, when you message me, kahit Sunday, nagsisiesta ka, sagutin ko na ito si Pauline.
Hindi naman
Again,
because Butch, you know naman, I won't message if it's not urgent or
I
uncertain.
know.
I just
Yes.
want to hear what you think, because of course I really I have to be mentored.
Yes,
Life is
yes, yes.
continuous learning. Yeah, I
Sa
know.
akin nga,
And to be mentored by you is a privilege. Thank you.
yeah. Sa akin, everybody is special. Walang kinikilingan, you know. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
message me and I'll try to help. But again, it's always God guiding us. Again,
Thank you,
thank you.
Butch.
Thank you. Maraming salamat. Sige. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.